Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri 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 Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. In 93, that means 33 years back, on Papa's Jayanti day, Puja Swamiji gave us this message. So we'll just read it. Beloved Papa has given us the holy and all-powerful Ramnam and showed us the path to realize our oneness with Him, which, if we are successful, will enable us to enjoy eternal happiness. It is not enough to call ourselves devotees or feel that we are devotees. We should be devotees in the true sense and try to live up to the ideals placed before us by our Guru so that we may reach the goal sooner or later. We should be devotees in the true sense. It is not enough to call ourselves devotees or feel that we are devotees. Even today it is relevant, this question we have to ask ourselves. This ashram was started by Papa and Mataji not for their own use, but for the benefit of us all. For the last 93 years, many have been visiting the ashram to get the benefit of Satsang, to get initiation into Ramnam, learn how to progress on the spiritual path, and to get an impetus in their sadhana. Many have also stayed in the ashram in the name of doing sadhana as if they have come here for God realization only. In fact, beloved Papa and Mataji expected everyone here to think of nothing else except realization of God. As they have already gone through all the other enjoyments. That does not mean giving up everything worldly and taking to the path of renunciation. It is only mental renunciation that Papa Mataji taught us. Those who stayed in the ashram as sadhakas and all those who have taken mantra initiation from Papa should live in such a way that their actions mark them out as devotees of God. The devotee should be so loving and selfless that they could be easily marked out. The devotee should always think of the welfare of others. He should love others and work for others. He should not care much for himself. He may have to take care of his body, but should not worry over it. He should live only for others. This must be the attitude of every devotee, especially those staying in the ashram. They should realize that they are in the ashram, which is a field for selfless service, to make best use of the conveniences provided here by Papa and Mataji and serve all the devotees who come here. Devotees come here with many worldly problems which they have to face daily. When they come here, they want peace. They want to know how to maintain peace constantly, and it is the responsibility of every one of us in the ashram to help them as much as possible so that they may go back home with a more peaceful mind and face the world in a better way than before. So it's a great responsibility on all those in the ashram to not merely look to their own spiritual progress, but also to serve others selflessly. This will only add to their own spiritual progress. Instead, what is happening is that we forget the ideals for which we are here. We forget that our main duty is to remember God constantly and serve everyone coming here, looking upon them all as manifestation of God. We fail to chant Ram Nam constantly. We fail to love and serve others sincerely. I am saying this because of a recent incident which has hurt me and also others. There was a devotee staying in the ashram for the past many years who was often complaining about the conduct of others, which he thought was not right. In fact, he felt that he was not respected by anybody. A sadhaka should never expect respect from anybody. Instead, he should try to give respect to everybody. He should feel that he is the dust of everybody's feet and be prepared to serve others with all love and affection, even if he were to get kicks and abuses in return. That should be the attitude of a true sadhaka. In this case, he was told that all these complaints were mainly because he was not doing his own sadhana sincerely. If he remembered God constantly and at least tried to live up to the ideas shown by Papa Mataji, he could serve devotees coming here with all love and affection instead of finding fault with them. This advice, however, was not appreciated by him. It is the responsibility of everyone who is a devotee of Papa and Mataji or any other saint to lead their life in a pure way as pure devotees of God, aspiring only for God realization, loving everybody, serving everybody as much as possible, and above all, being sincere in their approach. The strength to walk on the path comes only from beloved Papa. If you are true and sincere, He will surely give us the strength. The above-mentioned attitude of the inmate is a lesson to everyone in the ashram to be vigilant every moment in their lives, lest they should slip and go down in their sadhana. Be careful in your dealings with the devotees. Serve them lovingly and selflessly. Make them happy, and thus help them gain what they want from the ashram. I pray to beloved Papa to give the necessary strength and courage to all of us, so that we may always remember him, walk on the right path, and reach the supreme goal soon. A very, very important message to all of us. We are asking ourselves whether are we making use of the facilities provided by them in the manner in which it should be done. We may be satisfying ourselves, we attend some programs, but that is not the important. There is a mental evolution. Finding fault with negative tendencies. We may not be able to free ourselves totally from it, but to the extent possible, we should try to minimize, At least those who are in the ashram. Are we qualifying ourselves to be the devotees of Papa and Mataji? On that day, we remember when Swamiji was talking, it was full. It came from his heart. Everything comes from his heart only. On that particular day, it was a very touching one. It just came extempore. Not that normally he prepares initially. On that day, it just came out. We were all there, but we ourselves now take stock whether we have been able to live up to, whether we are trying to make ourselves useful to the fellow sadhakas. We can't say that we will be able to do it 100%, but to the maximum extent. When the Vyavahara comes, probably our mind may give some other norms. So as much as possible, we will try not to find fault with, not to assert, because everybody has come here to progress on the spiritual path. And I don't have to measure them with my measuring rod. I have fixed this is to be done, do's and don'ts, and I am trying to measure them, look through them, perceive them through this. No. Oh. On this Jayanti day, we are asking ourselves whether we are the true devotees of Papa. We are all devotees of Papa, true devotees of Papa. That means, are we in a position to is there an earnest attempt to live up to what has been taught to us? We may fail, we may forget, but at least we are clear, we want to reach. 100% nobody will be able to do it. But to the extent possible, we should keep on trying. It's a lesson to everyone in the ashram to be vigilant every moment in their lives, lest they should slip and go down in the sadhana. Be careful in your dealings with the devotees. Serve them lovingly, selflessly. Make them happy and thus help them to gain what they want from the ashram. Sadhaka has to be careful during his period of sadhana to avoid pitfalls. On another occasion, usually Papa was not talking about the negative side of life. He was always telling sadhakas to see the brighter side. He used to encourage them in developing positive sides of life. But here he has mentioned these aspects to especially make the sadhakas aware of the pitfalls. What is required of a sadhaka, first of all, as Papa always used to emphasize, is constant remembrance of God. Whatever means you may employ, you must be able to maintain ceaseless remembrance of God. It means remembrance all the 24 hours. Whether you are working, whether you are eating, whether you are sleeping, whether you are doing anything else, you must be able to maintain that remembrance running through you. If this is done, Papa used to say everything else would follow. So the foundation for spiritual life is constant remembrance. Of course, constant remembrance can come only if one is serious in sadhana. If one's aspiration to realize God is very intense, and this again can come only if God chooses him to take him unto himself, he can do it. Otherwise, he cannot. Only if God wills, we can progress on the spiritual path. This does not mean that we should be idle. We should not say, oh, God must shower his grace on us. Then only we can realize. Otherwise, we cannot realize. The very fact that all of us are here, the very fact that all of us are in touch with Papa Mataji since a long time, and the very fact that we have been aspiring for a higher life show that God has chosen us to reveal Himself in us, and He will do so sooner or later. In the meantime, we are made to do sadhana. Some very seriously, some in a half-hearted way. All this is because our sadhana is conditioned by our previous vasanas or samskaras. The results of many of the actions we have done in the past do not permit us to take to intense sadhana. Unless we have worked out all those, we will not be able to do so. So by sadhana alone, we have to wash them off. Virat Papa has given us the mantra. Let us chant the mantra constantly. Remember God ceaselessly. Leave ourselves entirely in His hands. He will mold us, give us the right shape. Only thing we have to do is to leave ourselves in His hands. While chanting His name constantly, be aware of His presence within and without. In any way you can think of Him, as a personal God or as an impersonal God. Once you feel His presence always with you, make Him your constant companion. He is closer to you than anybody else. Thus have His close companionship and carry on with your sadhana. Live blissfully and be sure He will take you to the supreme goal, oneness with Him. So really this Jayanti, Sannyas Day, Samadhi Day, it is an occasion for all of us to take stock. Individually, not collectively. At least we should spend 5 to 10 minutes on these days. Am I trying to live up to? Or am I carried away by the norm set by me and mine? So here he mentions about constant remembrance, That is something which we are yet to get. So all of us will have to ask ourselves, when am I going to get this? Equipment will not cooperate beyond certain level. This constancy, how to ensure? And we have to define what do we mean by constancy. We are not talking about the literal meaning. Literal meaning everybody knows, which is not possible. So what do you all think? The word constancy should be defined by every one of us. Otherwise, we are just hearing, that's all. What do we mean by constancy? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Therefore, at all places and in all times, remember me constantly and then fight the battle of life. Bhagavad Gita. Anusmaran, constantly. So what does it mean? No? Probably if we search for the meaning, then we might be knowing what we are doing and what is to be, what areas that remains to be improved. It should be practical, not all talk. What do we mean by constancy?
If we have some urgent work which needs to be done, but there are some other kinds of things also which have to be done simultaneously. While we do the other works, there is the undercurrent of remembrance of I have to finish that as well. So that probably undercurrent of God remembrance is not staying always. That is what we need to cultivate.
Each one try, not the literal meaning. So long as we are involving ourselves in various types of activities, constancy as is normally understood literally, it is impossible. So with all the limitations we have, how do we try to practice this constancy? Hmm?
Be the period ever so small.
Be the period ever so small, okay. Be the period ever so small.
Remembrance of God all the time and seeing God in everyone.
No, practical employment. Literal meaning everybody knows. Practical. Now we are sitting here. How can be the constancy?
Swamiji, auntie say we should keep reminding ourselves, he is making us. He is making us.
But are we in a position to maintain that throughout our day to day?
A balancing act, depending upon the situation, what to feel comes.
Balancing act. Like, correct.
Like you step out and you do some activities with some other people, and there you may not be in a position to do what exactly you want to do. So depending on the situation, we may also alter our thinking on the situation.
Okay. Here, one thing we want to make it clear, whatever the thoughts now come, there is no rights and wrongs. Everything is a process of evolution, drawn from one's own life when you say that. So when we pull together, probably something else we may get it. The question keeps on coming, what is meant by constancy in daily life? We have been told God is behind everything. Even this very word comes because He is there. Whatever is happening only by His will. Everything is all nice, but practical. You are practical.
Vasumati. Vasumati, teacher. I offer my day to you.
Oh, then. Now you just imagine. Vasumati's that example, it has space in our mind. That is why we remember. But have we done it so far? Are we trying to do it?
What do you mean that God remembers the maximum of your ability according to, what stage you are on the spiritual path? I know that sloka is also translated as always, remember that always, but there's no equivocation, but maybe that always is, depending upon your stage.
I couldn't.
I didn't gather what you actually wanted to convey.
Pardon?
I couldn't gather what you're trying to convey.
I'm going back to the sloka that Swamiji quoted. Remember me constantly.
Yeah, and find this back.
And I've seen it translated as always, which means at every moment.
Yeah.
Gentleman here said.
Yeah.
But yet that could be different for
Each
this
person.
gentleman as to me, or depending on our ability, the maximum of our ability.
Something he says that the shloka, the smart Sarveshu Kaleshu, that Anusmaran always remember me and fight this battle of life. That always is understood by each person in their own way within their capacities to do it.
Absolutely right. That is okay. But now, how that is right, absolutely right. But what is it that when I hear this, when Swamiji has informed us on Papa's Jayanti day that Papa expects all of us to develop this constancy. So now we are asking ourselves whether this is possible for me. Because when Papa took to this life, he was a full time. He withdrew from everything. When Mataji took to this, she withdrew from everything. Swamiji came here, got involved in various activities. One fine morning he realized, this is not my line. So he went and told Papa, I want contemplative life. So he was then asked to go to Rishikesh. Okay. So in their life, there was a break. But you and I, the right moment, when we started coming here, we straight away plunge into various activities in which this chanting is also there, satsang is there, swadhyaya is there, but the usual life pattern is also there. The moment you try to consolidate your earnings through sadhana, and next moment you are dealing with various other activities, the norm changes. Our previous samskara, our previous norms will be there, rights and wrongs, likes and dislikes. So that comes in and that intervenes. So the constancy is broken there. The me and mine comes and plays a role. So constancy is broken whenever this fellow is out. Whenever this fellow is in, I am unable to maintain the constancy. Like that we are trying to analyze. One of the practical methods could be, constancy means not the way in which we always remember God. We will not have this philosophy, but in our actions, we will try to bring out anything with a touch of love, anything with a touch of perfection, anything with a touch of dedication, anything with a touch of gratitude. This is constancy. The me and mind, the moment it develops, that moment we should know constancy is absent. Only I am there. So when Lord Krishna told Arjuna, what he meant, as we understand now, is that remember, I have made you to do it. No? So the me and mind should step out. In another sloka, he says, all these people, Kauravas, everybody, they have already been slain. They have been killed by me. You are only a nimittam. Nimittamatram bhavasavya sajin. Oh. So all these things help us. So when I deal with anything, I must see that I am dealing with him. It's a philosophy. We don't want that philosophy. How does it get expressed in the handle it with a touch of love? Handle it with a touch of perfection. Handle it with a touch of dedication. Handle it with a touch of gratitude. If these four are there in all our activities, then we can say yes, constancy is there. Because there we are unknowingly bringing the presence of God here. If this is kept like this and no, something in our mind says, no, that is not the way. Go and keep it clean. Oh, right. Because the overseeing entity, God, is there. He will not like it. And then probably we are also now praying to treat everything as a puja dravya. It's an article of worship. We don't have to tom in our mind. How does it come? Again, it's a philosophy. How does it come into an action? Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. And from the master's life, we also learn all these things they were exhibiting in their life. Everything is done with a touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of dedication, touch of gratitude. We have seen in their lives. Not tom-tomming, they are not giving philosophy lectures. But through their very act, unfortunately, what happened was we attributed to their person. He is nice, he is very perfect, he is like, so what? Even if I continue to praise him for decades, I am not going to get it. But if I observe through that what does he convey to me, then I may start doing it. Unknowingly, we attribute this to the individual. Actually, it is not that they want to show us. It is their very life that has blossomed like that because of their practice. So that means the constancy is maintained by them in a form that is understandable to us. Not that every minute they say, this is God, this is God. No. Once in a way, they may also use that expression. So when we keep on thinking about it, even if we fail 100, we may not be able to do 100%. But even if we fail a little, it doesn't matter. But we will have this. Constancy means handling everything with a touch of love. Handling everything with a touch of perfection. Handling everything with a touch of dedication. Handling everything with a touch of gratitude. And we try to maintain nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. We don't have to tom-tom. In the Vyavaharic sense, we cannot tom-tom. It will become counterproductive. So we have it in our mind and then start doing it. Probably this could be the answer for constancy, a thing which can be tried practically by every one of us. Everything is an article of worship. When Vinobaji said this in talks on Gita, at that time, of course, we could understand, to some extent what he meant. But the more we apply our mind, it becomes very, very clear that in the 15th chapter, he kept on emphasizing this, every article of worship. And then only we started thinking that what we do in puja room is only a rehearsal. What we do in bhajan hall is only a rehearsal. The moment I go out of bhajan hall, I must have the same, otherwise no.
When the devotee is immersed in Karta, where does the duality come? If the devotee is immersed in Karta, in the thought of God, where does the duality come?
Who is now talking? Just imagine. Who is now talking? Any individual, no?
Yeah,
Uh,
individual.
no. How can how?
He is enjoying himself,
No.
the bliss, always 24 hours. Then the duality never appears before.
We are not talking about him, We are talking about people like us who have not reached that stage. To him, there is nothing.
Yeah.
But we have not reached that stage. So Papa had reached that stage, so he is beyond duality. Yeah. But in our case, we have only understood. Literally, we have understood. But since all these things are coming in, likes and dislikes, do's and don'ts, all these come because we have not reached that stage. So that means the duality is still there. I am there, therefore the duality is there. So ultimately it zeroes to me and mine, me and mine. Parameter. So every day, yeah, some system we can develop by which this can be checked whether, I shouldn't have talked like that. I shouldn't have done like that. I shouldn't have thought like that. Because it is not in line with this. But these four very powerful pointers: touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of dedication, touch of gratitude. Nothing and nobody is irrelevant. Nothing or nobody is insignificant. Nothing or nobody is irrelevant. So we keep on. Even if we fail, we keep on. This is the tangible gain we should get from Nama chanting. That is why in the Namotsava now, these dimensions are slowly coming now. It is not talking about an impersonal God. It is not talking about anything else. It is directly linked to the workaday life. Huh?
This quality within ourselves.
Huh?
He's asking how to bring this quality within us.
Only by trying, not by hearing or reading. Only by trying. When you go out, how do you keep the chapel? How do you use it? When you go to another place, how do you again leave the chapel? That can give you the lesson. Otherwise it's only philosophy, that we have enough. We have enough philosophy that can be reproduced shared in forums like this. But what happens to me? So our sadhana should enable us to become vigilant. Yeah, that would be the right word. Be vigilant. And on occasions like when Puja Swamiji was sharing on Papas, that is a great reminder. Unknowingly, I may be committing something. Though one part of the mind may be saying, I am in a holy ashram and I am doing seva, this and that. But suddenly when you read this, am I a devotee of Papa? If I am a devotee of Papa, I should be free from all me and mine. Then how can I call? Because universal approach, that is his, thrust. The moment we enter, it is there in the board. At the time of inauguration, he spelled it out. Universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity. It is for that purpose that God made him to set up this ashram. And you and I are drawn here. So every now and then when we pass through that, am I, from the individual to the universal, am I moving? Same. So many decades have been coming. but still the me and mine is intact. So how can I call myself as a devotee of Papa? You are not talking to anybody else, you are talking to yourself. For others, you can say, I am a devotee of Papa, nothing wrong in it. But you are answering to yourself that universalism, whether it is entering into me, whether for that, am I coming out of the me and mine? Sri Krishna ji was once sharing, I think Sri Krishna ji, one incident, a very thought-provoking incident. On those days, ashram was finding it extremely difficult to make both ends meet. But to Mataji, there was not a consideration at all. She doesn't bother about all those things. When somebody is in distress, her heart will ultimately melt. So my paisa will not be here. So she called, Sri Krishnaji had come from Bombay for a few days stay. Straight away she looked at him and asked, you have got money? Immediately he got up, went to the room, the entire purse or whatever, he placed it before Mataji. He says, suppose I ask how much you want, she will not ask. She will not take. Because she is giving us an opportunity to get out of the me and mine. That he was able to understand. It is not that Mataji wanted money from me, no. How deep, So, and Vinayakan also said, immediately they put. So one day he gave a check, Vinayakan Bhai. So the amount was not filled. So Mataji again questioned him. How do you know what I am going to? And yours is a partnership. So you are responsible to the partner also. So how can you give me a blank check? Because you don't know what I am going to fill. Immediately he said, whatever you do is okay. So that means it is not that Mataji is asking somebody to whether they are in a position to remove the least trace of the me and mine. And Sri Krishnaji was telling that, okay, some money she gave to somebody else. Okay, no, Sri Krishnaji will not know to whom it was given. Okay, the other person who Mataji wanted to give, he will be called and given. And when before the day comes for Sri Krishnaji to leave for Bombay, somebody else will come like this, and she will take money, and she will put something more than what he has given, and then give. So the way in which this is not a philosophy, practical. 100% practical. And she does not do it just because, we have to help somebody, have to ask somebody, no. This norm is maintained, whether the giver is free from the attachment towards me and mine. Whether you want to do it discreetly, whether the me and mine is, we won't say completely, to a very great extent it has been toned down. Why we are mentioning, to Mataji I may behave like that, to others I may not behave like that. But there is a subtle message, very subtle message. So why we are repeating Mataji's words every now and then? She is trying to refine us not through words, by minutely observing this. Because the moment, how much you want, Mataji, you have money. Mataji, how much? then you keep it with you. Not that she has any negative feeling towards him. Because the purpose of asking him was something else. Anyway, time is yet to come. He is yet to evolve. No, it's all right. Don't worry. She will not wound him. I will take it later. So these are all some of the clues which you are learning. Constancy means what? Constancy means what? That is constancy. In anything and everything, that least trace of me and my deha buddhi. That is the word, she always uses. Vishwa buddhi, deha buddhi. Individual, from the individual to the universe. So if you have got deha buddhi, you cannot. Vishwa buddhi means you are trying to accommodate the care and concern of others, Universal aspect, universal perception. So these are all some of the things which makes us to remember how each one of us has to define what is constancy for me. I may not be able to chant Ram Nam. I may not be able to conceive the form of God. And then offering every act, it is easy to say that. When Basmati teacher said, I am offering the day to you, to her it was an experience. To us, when we reproduce, it's only a word. Because we are yet to reach that stage, how to make that offering for the whole day. Basmati teacher was all right. But when I reproduce that, have I risen up to Basmati? Because in an untold, nobody told her to do that. It was spontaneous. She was trying, like all of us, she was also trying to do so many prayer, nama chanting, little bit of reading, and then attending to work. There also she was very sincere. And one fine morning she felt her care and concern for others make her to think less and less about this nama chanting or puja or something like that. So she felt very bad. So finally, God made her to think, don't worry, offer the whole day to me. Then it covers everything. A beautiful word, no doubt. Early morning, I offer the day to you. Then I must live up to it, no? Then she felt relieved. Because everything is an offering to. That is constancy. So when Swamiji remembered that Papa was insisting for constant remembrance, which he has 2-3 times he has said, we are all now trying to get a meaning from our own experience and improve the areas where we have to improve. So with a day full of gratitude, we remember, and to the form also. So the form is with us, inside us. Whenever we want, that form comes before us. We do a Sashtanga pranams, catch hold of the holy of the holiest feet, and then pray to him, kindly guide me, lead me. Make me feel that you are leading me, that is enough. Then I will not ask this and that. So that I come out, I step out, and you take over that. No? Let that feeling always be with me. This is the greatest homage we can do on this auspicious day. Okay, then from tomorrow onward for the next 7-8 days, we will not be here. Going to Hyderabad. There we are going to have this Namotsav on the Sunday, and probably a nearby place called Hanamkonda there will be, and a couple of Satsang, that's all. And our going and coming. So we hope to come back on the 9th morning. Naturally, there won't be any sessions like this during this period. So during this period, let us try as much as possible to apply all these, to remember all these, sir. Daily 5 to 10 minutes we will remember the powerful message Puja Swamiji gave us on the occasion of Swami Sachidanandaji, gave us on the occasion of Papa's Jayanti day. If that comes back to us, that will keep us on toes. So we pray for that also. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai